Welcome back for another episode. This is Ken with XMod, and today we're going to be working on a HP power supply. So I'll just explain, a few things about it and why I'm doing this repair on a laptop power supply from HP. And this computer is from a compaq Persario V6000, in case anyone's wondering. And the point of failure is right here. You can see that the kind of right by the strain relief, the cable has a short in it, and so my laptop, which the battery no longer works. It's a 2007 era laptop. For anyone that cares, it has a AMD Turon processor running at 2 gigahertz 64-bit single core with 2 gigabytes of G.Skill memory. And I think I put a 120 gigabyte hard drive from an old Xbox in it, so yeah, the laptop's in good shape. I just kind of left the power supply on the floor, and I think after walking over it and stuff like that, point of failure right here. As you can tell, it's bending. See, and what my plan is, I'm gonna cut right above where the short is, and then and as you can tell, I already took the liberty of drummeling. You have to take a Dremel and run right across here and Dremel all that out. And then, you can get it open like that. And just to let you guys know, I'm going to do this video in a couple parts. And, mostly because I don't have a tripod. So, yeah, if you guys comment, rate, subscribe, and, maybe hit me up on PayPal, send me a donation. I'm not shy. I want a tripod, damn it, and make you guys good videos. And then that way I can really give you a step-by-step, but I'm going to do these in a bunch of parts in one video. So that way I can give you more of a sense of step-by-step. But yeah, I know I'm trying to make this for the amateurs or people getting into DIY or someone just trying to fix their stuff. So this video I'm trying to make for you guys. If any one of you guys seen my video about the PS3 cell phone battery repair, that doesn't make sense, but yeah, the game controller that I fixed with old cell phone batteries. Then I kind of described the concept, and at the time I just didn't want to do the step-by-step because it's kind of impossible. So I'll try to make it as possible as I can, and hopefully you like the video. But as you can tell, you got this shielding around it. And, see, as you can tell, I'm trying to do this one-handed. Let's see, hold on one second. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut some of this stuff out. So, as you can tell, I got the metal shielding. And, there's tape. I took some of the tape off, took the liberty of doing that. But, yeah, from factory, they glue these together. So you're gonna have to Dremel around it, and so my plans are when I cut it, I'm gonna solder the leads. Yeah, I shouldn't turn my light on, but my room's always dark. But I'm gonna solder the leads to the board, and do that stuff. Another tidbit. You notice right here, positives in the center and negatives the outer. So definitely when you get done modding a power supply, or not, it's not, I don't want to call modding, but fixing a power supply, um, and you're gonna do precisely this. You have a shortened cable, you have enough slack in the cable where you can cut it down and solder it to the board. Then you need to check the polarity, please, or you're gonna plug it in and your laptop's gonna blow up. Let's see. Man, the print's so small in here. I was trying to get the voltage for you guys. What the heck? Yeah, I think it's like 19 volt or something like that. Oh, 18.5 volt. So yeah, and there's a lot of videos about these kind of power supplies, in case you guys are wondering. So I'd check those videos out, because if you watch, put my video together with someone else's that has like a step-by-step tutorial, if that's what you're looking for, guaranteed someone's not going to give you that information on checking the polarity and some of that stuff. So that's kind of stuff I want to let you guys know about. So yeah, and I'll talk about this too. The tools that are required, like always, you got the soldering iron. I mean, honestly, this is like probably $10. Yeah, I think I paid $10. $10 for a Walmart soldering iron. I think this might be 25 watt. Yeah, 25 watt. I got a tip from Radio Shack. My favorite store, by the way, but I'm kind of disappointed because they don't carry a whole lot of supplies when it comes to repair parts for DIYers out there. If they did that, maybe they won't be going out of business. Black tape. This is Harbor Freight black tape. Don't recommend it. Doesn't stick well. So I'm probably not going to use the black tape. I would recommend 3M black tape if you want something that sticks. Desoldering wick, in case you need to desolder anything. It just kind of helps bring up the solder. So you just lay it on there, put your soldering iron on there. And if there's other videos out there on YouTube and stuff, you can learn how to use that. It's called rosin solder flux. It's kind of like a paste you can put on solder, and you can hold your iron to it, and it'll help the solder flow, especially old solder, on old components. Wire strippers, so you can strip back your wires after cutting the cable. Side cutters for cutting the cable. Hot glue. Hot glue is cheap, readily available. I can't remember how, I haven't ran out of any yet. I bought a big bag of glue sticks, like 5 years ago. I haven't ran out of them yet. And you might need this if you're trying to fill the gap for the strain relief. I'm going to try to salvage this strain relief if I can, if it's molded on there. I'm probably going to have to put hot glue around it. So, yeah, it's kind of sketchy, but that'll work. And last but not least, you want shrink tubing. So I got, this is kind of, I think it's a multi-pack. Yeah, it's a multi-pack. You got small shrink tubing, and I got 2 big shrink tubes. I guess you could call them that. So this basically is better than black tape. If you can, if you solder 2 wires together and stuff like that, I'd recommend this over black tape any day of the week, because the point of failure is less. Black tape unravels, it doesn't stick well. So yeah, so if you guys are wondering at home, how in the hell am I getting away without using black tape? Well, this is one way. I'll probably use black tape when I go to not black tape, but box tape. I don't know if that's a wise idea, because these do get hot, by the way. These do get hot, and as you can tell, there's metal shielding in there and stuff. So yeah, box tape might not be a wise idea, but you really need something to bond when you go to piece this together. As a side note, you can probably use um, epoxy, black epoxy or something, and you could probably permanently fix it. Uh, fix it together, I should say. But I would only use epoxy if you know your work's solid and you don't plan on repairing it again. And if it fails again, then you're willing to throw it away. So I might not use the epoxy because it just takes at least a couple hours for it to set up, and then you probably want to let it sit overnight to set up. And really, I want to use my laptop right away. So yeah, this is the first part of the video. So stay tuned for the second part, and I'll show you a few more clips. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So. Yeah, what I did is I went ahead and stripped those wires. So you got outer shielding, and I'm assuming this is positive. Yeah, I mean, what? Yeah, I'd safely assume because usually outer shielding is like the outer skirt of the barrel connector, and this is your positive wire. So yeah, I got that stripped back. As another thing, there's a solder glob right there on the shielding. So I'm heating up the iron right now on this baking sheet, which makes a good, if you want to solder on the floor and make it convenient, the old baking sheets make that possible. You don't have to worry about burning your carpet or anything like that. Maybe it's a stupid idea, but I think it's a good one. And so I'm going to use this desoldering wick, and then I'm going to touch my iron on there, desolder it, and then once I get in there, I'm going to remove those wires from the board, and then I'm going to solder the new wires to the board. I don't know quite yet how I'm going to check the polarity. Hopefully it's labeled on the board. That'll just make my life easier. But you never know when you go into these things. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Of course, once I desolder that, I should be able to lift the rest of the case, the shielding off. And as a side note, just be very, very, very careful because there's capacitors, and if you know anything about capacitors, they look like big batteries. You can see a brown one right there looking at you. So they can store charge, sometimes for hours, sometimes for days. This has been sitting overnight, so I should be alright, but you never know. They could pack a punch, and they can even kill you. So, just as a side note, so always be prepared or be aware that you can get shocked doing stuff like this. But, in the end, I'm going to save, I don't know, I don't even know how much these cost. My mother had a laptop, and her power supply failed, or power adapter, whatever you want to call it. So I told her, oh yeah, just go get those universal ones. Those universal ones, guys, are not that great, and they usually are $50, $40 at the minimum, up to $100 depending on what type of laptop you have. Especially if you get OEM, which is manufacturer. Like if I were to buy this from HP, it probably costs $100. An old laptop like that still is real good shape because I take good care of it. This is going to be worth it in the long run. Alright, stay tuned for the next video. Welcome back for the next segment. So, yeah, oh man, if I can focus on that. So I soldered my leads on there. See, there's like a bunch of, kind of looks like caulking. Maybe that's what it is. A bunch of glue. And yeah, I soldered it in. You're gonna have the ground wires, so I did show that. So the ground wire is gonna be outer shielding, and your positive. That's how I put it. I'm crossing my fingers, but I'm gonna hook a voltage meter up to it and see if I have the polarity right. I got this leg. It comes up for the shielding that I had to desolder. That's a leg off one of the capacitors. So there is no positive or negative side. So I'm just basing my guess off that leg touches the shielding. So the outer wire, which I did wrap the leg with shrink tubing, and then I'm gonna bring this shrink tubing all the way down, and then I'm gonna see if I can focus on that. I'm gonna bring it all the way down, and then I'm gonna take a lighter. I do have a heat gun, but I'm gonna take a lighter and heat it up, and then that way it's not gonna arc or anything in there. And I did get the strain relief thing on. Most videos I've seen, people weren't able to get that off. So you just have to yank it off with a pair of needle nose. Just yank it out. It's not molded to it. So hopefully, if with the shrink tubing and get that all the way down, hopefully, I'll cross my fingers. Alright, stay tuned for the next segment. Welcome back. This is Ken again. For the last segment. So as you can tell, it's not perfect because of my Dremel job, but I taped it back together. The metal shielding I put back together, wrapped it with black tape, and then I used a voltmeter, and I set it to 20 volts, and it read 18.65, and I had to use speaker wire to let's see, where is it? I have to find the other end. Sorry, it's all to get in that center pin. Yeah, I just use these terminals. So I just stuck my my red electrode, because according to the diagram on the back, the center electrode is gonna be positive and the outside is gonna be negative. And I kind of told you guys how to figure that out, but you know, yeah, if you get a minus sign, that means it's backwards. If your center electrode is minus, some power supplies have the outside being positive and the inside being negative. So definitely look on your power brick and see what your what the bipolar, or not bipolar, but the polarity. Sorry, the polarity is supposed to be. That way, you don't just stick it in your laptop and your laptop just blows up. You don't want to blow out a motherboard because you're doing some MacGyver stuff. So yeah, and yeah, see, I got the strain relief on there. I don't know if you can see that too well, but yeah, I got the strain relief. I kind of stuck some extra, I had to shove it back there a little ways on the extra wire. So I probably gave up about 2 inches of wire, but I'm not too broken over it. Because, yeah, you got the power plug, it plugs into there. And I got probably 3 feet of extra wire, 2 feet. But, yeah, it should work out great. And, we'll see, because this brick does heat up under load on my computer, because my computer battery kind of works. I might get like 10 minutes out of it, but which means it doesn't work. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know how this tape's gonna hold up. You know, if I smell burning or something, then I'll probably take it off. Yeah, I had yellow tape around the shielding inside, so that yellow tape was like a heat tape, it looked like. So yeah, if you can get thermal tape, is what it's called. I don't know where you can get it as a consumer. You might have to special order it, but yeah, if you can get thermal tape for anything inside, interior or even exterior, you could probably get wide thermal tape to wrap your power brick. That's a safer bet, because it's not going to melt. So yeah, it gets warm enough to where I can still hold it, but it's pretty warm. So I haven't tried to underload yet. So I hope this video helps somebody. So comment, rate, subscribe. I know it's a little long, but yeah, at least this will give you a direction on how to fix a short in your wire. And if you have to replace the wire, you can even do that too. Just make sure that you save the end of your wire. If you had to chop it off there, let's say you had a cat or a dog that chewed up your wire, you could chop it off right there, or give yourself some space and still use the lead and check your polarity and all that, and use shrink tubing. If you ever have to splice wires, your wire is always going to be compromised. So use shrink tubing. It's the way to go to prevent shorts. You don't want to burn down your house. But hopefully this saves someone money. So yeah, comment, rate, subscribe. If there's ads on my channel, click on the ads. Why not? You're gonna help me out, and maybe I can get a damn tripod, and I can do this step by step next time we do it. And yeah, this is my first PC repair video on this channel. So yeah, if you guys like it, you want more of it, let me know about it, and then yeah, any comments will be welcome, positive or negative. I just like to hear what you guys want to see. Have a good day, night, wherever you're at.